on that, you raised a very important point that the line between technology and marketing is blurring.
Yeah.
And that brings a different thing. I'll start with Vikas. That it requires a total different set of people in our industry. And this lack of that people, that kind of people who are comfortable with technology and got the marketing sense, understand the ecosystem of marketing, is very, very rare. Now it is largely affecting us to get a just to get an account manager. It's like breaking
Yeah.
your head. What is your experience on that, and what we can do about that?
Okay, so let me start by saying that the holy grail of marketing, right from the inception of the term marketing, was that you should be able to target consumers where they are, when they are, in the most receptive manner. And always the wish was, can we have that data? Can we have that intent data? Can we know what the consumer life stage is? Can we know this? And we do precise level of targeting. The problem that you're having today is that all of a sudden that has become a reality. Meaning you've been talking about it, thinking that I wish I had this, but you were never prepared how to utilize or how to leverage on that data. Now today you are sitting in a world where you've got all these attributes, all this data, which is easily trackable. You can just store that part out there. He's talking trickles of data. I think it's not trickles. It's like whole lot of bunch of data that you have, and that's powerful because you've got whole lot of decision making points that consumer is leaving behind, which really influence the purchase as such. Now when it comes down to the people as such, you are finding it little difficult at this point in time because you got a segregation of the world, guys who was doing TV and print, and therefore it's the same set of people we are trying to evolve into. I think it was happening whole of 2004 till 2010, 2011. Most of the agencies were trying to do the same thing, and a lot of companies who are coming are also trying to do it. But if you look at the entire ecosystem way it has happened, and even when I look at Gerrit Comms, for example, who would have thought a B2B communications company in such a niche area on technology focused? Imagine this 5 years back. Could it have existed at that point in time?
Sure.
No. How did you guys come up?
Yeah, there is a need.
There is a need, and because you understand a little bit of technology, you understand how the consumers are, how the marketing process happens, you are able to plug that part. So it's not that people don't understand, people do understand, except that what has happened is there are large companies out there, and it takes a lot of time for them to change and bring that capabilities. And then you got these companies who are coming up everywhere. Meaning the scene is not very different from what it is in US versus, okay, it might be a one level up out there, but the fact is you got whole lot of startups coming up in Asia, whether you look at market like India or you look at Indonesia or you look at Singapore. You've got a whole lot of companies which are now developing these communication capabilities, marketing capabilities, and they're offering very, very precise and specific solutions. Yes, so it's a challenge that if you want to train your existing people who are set in a some sort of a silo or a domain, and you want to just transfer them into a new environment, it's going to be challenging. But if you look at people out there, there is already those capabilities that exist out there. Meaning the classical thing that I keep on telling people is, don't look at what the old world WPP used to do. Look at what they've done in last 2 years. Meaning, okay, answer how many companies WPP has acquired in the digital space, in the niche space in last 2 years. How many companies Publicis has acquired, whether it pertains to search, whether it pertains to social, whether it pertains to events, and where is the money going now?
True.
So what are those? That's about hires, right? That's like
skill building. Yeah,
that's skill building. So WPP, what it used to be 3 years back, is not the same WPP what it is now.
It's not. It's not. In fact, just to add to what Vikas is saying, there's this whole new skill set of techno marketers which is in need. If you look at Accenture, if you look at Sapient, if you look at IBM as well, all these companies have acquired standalone marketing companies, which were in web analytics or data management, etc. They've also set up media audit outfits like Accenture has. So they're doing all this because they were weak in the marketing domain. They were very strong in technology and product. We, on the other side, are also looking at similar relationships with the Adobes of the world and the Accentures of the world, where some of their products and services can power our decision making and marketing. So it's at a stage of evolution where probably they need to learn marketing, we need to learn technology. That's the only way we will thrive, and that's the only way they will thrive as well.
And just to add on to the point, I think if you look at any technology based company, whether it's from a search or a social or a mobile standpoint, I think they're putting their own effort. So from our perspective, what we would do is we will go out and conduct workshops for clients, we'll do workshops for agencies, we'll go out and train them, we'll give them some sort of creative support. For example, if they don't know exactly how to build up mobile creatives, it's as simple as that, right? Mobile, considered as very complex, thousands of devices out there, different screens. How do you adapt? How do you do it? You're trying to help them in their own way, and that's how the ecosystem will build up. Because at some point in time, the client is going to say, "Okay, I get it now. How to do it?" Or the agency will say, "I know now." So it's
So where is the tipping point? That's a question.
Yeah,
precisely.
Now let's come back to the mobile for a while, and then
Yeah.
So you said that there's emerging markets, and the smartphone is not only the thing, and
Yep.
looking at that, and even the feature phone targeting in emerging markets, where the PC connectivity is not there.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
So how this is means after this 5 months period, what did you learn? How the reaction of those smartphone usage of digital marketing, means using smartphone as a vehicle of digital marketing. What is your experience so far? What are the roadblocks, and what things we can expect in future?
Okay, so roadblocks, it's a good question, because to my mind, the roadblocks exist with marketeers. Consumers don't have any roadblocks. Huh? Consumers adapt very quickly. They understand, so they have a need, and they will understand what satisfies that need, and they will pick up a product and do it. When consumers go out to the market, they don't think I want to buy a smartphone, and I don't want to buy a dumb phone. Consumers don't even know the definition.
Dumb phone,
Yeah,
okay.
meaning
Yeah, that's
so if I ask you what is the definition of a smartphone versus a feature phone, I can tell you even 9 out of 10 marketers won't be able to answer
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's can't.
Yeah.
If you ask a consumer what does he do on the mobile, irrespective of the fact what kind of phone does he own, he would still tell you that I'm doing my Facebook, I'm doing my Twitter, I'm playing with my apps, I'm doing my games. What does he own? He owns a $50 device. And most of the students, if you go out to Indonesia, Vietnam, India, Thailand, do you think they carry iPhones? Meaning,
Yeah.
but
sure.
if you ask them, do you do Facebook, do you do Twitter, do you use your apps, do you do gaming? Of course, the answer is yes. So in their own ways, everybody is using a smartphone, first of all. The reality for the marketer then is, or the opportunity for the marketer then there is, how do you go out and capture that consumer?
Right.
Now, we are presenting just a platform out there to be able to reach out, a platform which didn't exist at all. The fact of the matter is, a lot of other ad networks or whatever exists from a smartphone versus a feature phone debate, those companies have born out of developed markets. So they thought that way. It was logical. Meaning iPhone was a revolution. There is no two ways about it. It's completely changed the dynamics of this industry, right? But iPhone didn't percolate down to Vietnam or Indonesia or India at the same level what it did in US. That's the reality of the market. Now, for a marketer, if you present that opportunity that you can still reach out to a consumer with a device that he uses in a very, very brand friendly manner, he would still lap it up. So our experience so far is that it works beautifully. We've, in a short span of time, I can tell you, we've managed to get practically every single leading vertical that we wanted to get on board. We've got that. So today we work with some of the largest FMCG companies. We're working with some of the largest mobile manufacturers. We've got automobile clients. We've got whole range of customers who are using our platform, right? So that's a testimony to the fact that even marketers are going to get platform agnostic at some point of time. A marketer's thing is not I want to use iPhone. His thing should be, or his objective is I want to reach my consumer,
Right.
irrespective of the fact whether he uses a feature phone or he uses a smartphone.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where it is.
Means totally agree on that.
Yeah.
So let's come to the mobile to a little bit on the social side.
Yeah.
We'll go to the search later. The social side, what is the biggest differences on the market behavior? Okay, I must clarify that there is a consumer behavior, there is a marketer's
Marketer's behavior, right?
So let's talk of one by one both, right? What is the biggest difference from the, I would say, from the US, UK, and from the Asian point of view? What is the biggest difference of how the consumer behaving, or how is the marketers are behaving using social as a marketing platform? Sanchit, to
Sure.
start?
Yeah, sure, please.
So I guess firstly we need to understand the social world doesn't start and finish with Facebook. That's the biggest notion people have, and that's the most incorrect way of looking at social media. Social media's germ started in blogs. Social media's germ started in discussion groups. Social media emanated from there. Facebook has just aggregated a platform from consumers to know each other. Unfortunately, in its current avatar, it's not a very marketing friendly environment. Let's just accept it. And if you look at Q4 results of the amount of money they made on advertising, there was a decline from Q3 to Q4. So there's certainly marketing interest being shown purely because of size and reach of the platform. But in its current version, it's not a marketing friendly platform. So you need to look at other interesting platforms. I am a big believer that LinkedIn for the B2B segment is probably the platform of choice. You have similar levels of targeting, you have better ad products, and from whatever experience we've had, it delivers far better ROI than a Facebook will, purely because of advanced levels of targeting and less spillage.
Right.
Facebook, on the other hand, is a what we call a black spot in terms of advertising. You tend to see it, but you tend not to react to it because it's your own personal environment. We must realize LinkedIn is a commercial space. It's a space where consumers are going because they want to know more about the industry and the category they work in. Facebook is an area where you're there to make friends and be friends with your existing folks that you've been in the past. So they're very differentiated platforms. Facebook typically is like you having a party at home and a brand ransacking that party by in your own house by putting posters all over the place. So that's my definition of how Facebook is different from LinkedIn.
Right.
LinkedIn is a place where you walked into a shop store and you see areas of interest and posters which are related to what you're looking for. Facebook is your own space. The brand is ransacking your place and hijacking your place and putting posters. So I think that's the fundamental difference between Facebook versus rest of the world in social. Twitter is emerging here, but certainly has not moved at the pace Facebook has. So we need to be very careful about what our strategy is. I think our content strategy should be the starting point, and distribution can be on social, can be on your website, can be anywhere else. But our content strategy and our product strategy cannot revolve around one platform. It'll certainly not deliver value.
Definitely.
And please don't go after likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
you asked this question. I can tell you when you asked this, there was just one incident that came to my mind. So I think 2 weeks back, I was going around the Orchard Road with my family, and there's this couple of young guys who come over to me and say, "Why don't you please like this on Facebook?" I said, "Why? Sorry, you want me to log into my Facebook account like this?" "Yes, we'll give you this entire thing of." So they had this sachet that they had put together with a torch and a pen and everything. "Just like us, we'll give you." Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's a bit of herd mentality, and I completely agree with you. It's rather naive of brands to
Get into that.
buy into
I won't even
likes.
disclose that brand. It's a very popular brand, and
Yeah, I agree with you. In fact, there was a recent
There is
It's an offline campaign of getting
Facebook like online.
and that too forcefully, meaning, sorry, what are you saying?
There was a recent study done on Facebook on all brand pages, and it has shown that 90% of people who like brands and are fans of brands never log back into the page. So only 10% of people on Facebook who own brand pages get repeat visitors. Now that's a staggering number. That basically means you might have liked a brand or a fan page a year and a half back or 3 years back when you signed up for Facebook, but you've never logged into that. So what is the value of that fan, or what is the value of that like?
You
Zero.
get to spam. Come on.
Yeah, unless you have a engagement strategy in place along with that intent of
Yeah.
loyalists.
Absolutely.
Right.